Ragnaros landing a 4-man Sulfurous Smash, Durance of Hate from Mephisto, and this combination executed perfectly at the end of the game.
From Alarak, make it a quad kill set up by that ETC.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi line.
Nubrag, core at 50%. Both cores are just absolutely melting. Which one's going to go down first? I think this is going to be Respect the Gooses. Oh my goodness.
Ring. Oh my goodness, the ring. Jaina just pulling up everybody here. That's a 4, make it 5
And it
for
does
nothing.
knock them all up. What a play! Oh my God! Somebody please clip that.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I'm your host, Aero, this evening, and joining me is Lulu. How you doing tonight, Lulu?
I'm doing great, Aero. How about yourself?
You know what? As far as I'm aware, I haven't caught COVID, so that means that I'm doing excellent. Having a great day.
Solid start.
It's you got to start somewhere, right?
As true.
So we're going to see a matchup here tonight from a couple of Div B teams on the east side between ProBUs and Ban Cho, a couple of teams that we have seen for seasons and seasons and off seasons and all kinds of various events. I think we're both pretty familiar with these teams. Should be a pretty exciting matchup, do you think?
Yeah, it really should. They're both moving up to B this season from Div C. I mean, I think ProBUs only spent one season in C because ProBUs... Actually, I think they were both went DCB the last 3 seasons, if I remember correctly. So it should be a lot of fun. They're really solid teams. They're not very fun to play against. Yeah.
Yeah, I know Ban Cho was in Div C at one point when Regen Red was the Div C Grand Champions, not plugging the shirt that I happen to be wearing, but
Regen Red, never heard of them.
Yeah. Nearly undefeated season, but yeah. So other than our very first match. But anyways, enough about me. So Lulu, you are part of a team in NGS in Division C East, I think?
That's really kind of you and entirely wrong. It's D West, but
oh, I was really
basically
close.
the same thing. Yeah, I was C East last season, so you're just off. You know, we haven't. This is our first cast together. You know, we haven't talked since last season.
Very true. Very true.
So yeah, we're in D West. We're puns upon a time. I make lots of bad jokes that my teammates have to put up with, and we have some fun.
But you guys had a pretty big match here very recent. I think, was it yesterday? Or the day before?
Oh god, what day is it? Today's Wednesday. No, today's Thursday. Yesterday was Wednesday. Yeah, we played Nerf the Smurfs yesterday. Went to 3 games. It was one of the more stressful matches I've played. But it was a good time.
Awesome. Well, you know, one of the things that I do recall about playing against Ban Cho, and I don't think that my team has ever played against ProBUs, but Ban Cho was a team that was they were kind of a wild card. They play a wide variety of heroes, and you're never really sure what you're going to be going up against. So it's very difficult to draft against them and prepare for them, because you just don't know. But ProBUs has had some pretty significant victories in the past as well.
Yeah, I mean, Ban Cho, what's always struck me the most about them is that they don't often make big mistakes, and they're very good at punishing your mistakes. Like, even if you're getting a lead and stuff, as soon as you make a mistake, they're very good at capitalizing on it, like, immediately.
For sure. Well, you know what? Let's actually take a quick look at the standings, and then we'll cover map bans here. Hopefully they get you switched into being the caster group. But standings right now in Division B Southeast, we have ProBUs sitting there at 4th with 7 points, and Ban Cho tied with 2 calculated to throw, another team that I'm familiar with from our Season 6 Division C games. Actually, that was calculated throw. Never mind. Anyways, tied with them at number 7 with 3 points. So overall, the division pretty spread out. We've seen a lot of divisions in the past where, you know, you'll see like 4 teams that have the exact same number of points. And while there certainly are a couple ties, you know, 2nd and 5th and 7th there, just not that many. So this is an interesting division to kind of look at, and it'll be interesting to see how they evolve throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard to believe this is already, what, week 4?
Yes.
Time's flying, Aero.
And it sure is. It sure is. Well, taking a look at these map bans, interestingly enough, when you catch up, you'll see this on the screen here. The map bans lining up rather nicely. At the end of the list there. So Volskaya Foundry and Towers of Doom, those were banned out by Ban Cho, the 2 all the way off to the right. But Infernal Shrines and Tomb of the Spider Queen also banned out here, the other 2 off to the right, by ProBUs. And it is kind of interesting. I hadn't realized Infernal Shrines. Infernal, beginning with the letter I, you wouldn't expect it to be, out of 10 maps, you wouldn't expect it to be the 7th. In alphabetical order. It's just statistically. But you have all these other maps that are, you know, ABCs.
That's true.
In the first half, yeah. I mean, you only get to D. Dragonshire's the 5th map. And you're only 4 letters into the alphabet. But anyways, our first map is going to be Battlefield of Eternity. It is the map selection of Ban Cho. We are just waiting on one final person.
Yeah, at the moment it's looking like I might end up playing this match, Aero, so...
I mean, it certainly seems close. I do like...
Also,
yeah.
this is just gonna be all kinds of fun confusion, this map. We've got Bluestein version 2 over on the side of Ban Cho, and then for ProBUs, they have Blue Oyster.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
We got the blues.
I don't think it's quite as confusing as when I had to cast a match with Aero. I shouldn't say had to. I chose to cast a match that contained a player named Aero while I was also casting. That certainly made it a little sus.
If I had been there, I would have... It would have been really hard for me to cast that and not be able to talk about him and say, Aero, comma, not you, Aero, the other one. Like all the time, and people would have hated me for it. So I'm glad I wasn't there for that.
I mean, for what it's worth, I'm sure that it would have been a jolly good time. But yeah, still just waiting on that one last player. Hopefully they'll join us soon. We did get our map bans technically before 9:30, which is always great. Coming up on that. There it is.
There we go.
Just in time, we get our 10th player for the match.
Is he friends with Just In Case?
He might be. You two shut up and sit down. What? I am sitting. You can see I'm in a chair. See? Chair right there. All right. Looks like one team's ready. I'm ready. You ready?
There's a riot. People want Warhead Junction. That's who Desda was trying to shut up.
I see.
She doesn't hate us. It's okay.
All right, fair enough.
Oh,
they didn't have
our friend with computer problems.
No, I think that's because they have the Oh, no, that's correct. Wait, are they on the wrong sides? They are on the wrong sides. These jerks guys are on the wrong side. These.
But the person we were waiting for was the one that DC'd when they tried to load in, so that's
Oh, there you go.
potentially problematic.
Well, you know what? On the bright side, at least they fixed, or they DC'd at the beginning so that we didn't have to deal with any like draft shenanigans, and also so we can make sure that they're on the right side. We love Aero and Lulu. Thanks, Des. Appreciate it. So Lulu, you know, you dodged my request earlier. For anybody that is out there who hasn't been playing Among Us, I gotta say it's a lot of fun until you get into a group where everybody talks over each other.
Yeah, I've actually only gotten to play once still. It was a lot of fun, even though I spent a whole lot of time being the first to die. But you asked me today, like, you know, you're an East Coaster, so you finished work earlier than I do, so I was still working while you were having fun trying to catch imposters.
So I want to clarify, my schedule is not the same as you might think. I work at times when I need to work, and I don't work at times when I don't need to work. So it's not really, you know, an East Coast thing. It's just I happen to be available. Slexia asked me to come play, and I was like, you know what? You know who'd be great at this game? Lulu.
Well, that's very kind of you to think of me. I appreciate it. Yeah, but yeah, I want to play again. It was a lot of fun.
And you know what? I played like, I don't know, 10 or 12 games or something like that. Didn't get to be imposter once. That said, I also didn't get voted off once, which is good.
Yeah, it's always a plus. Uh-oh. Sounds like we're getting a replacement player.
An on-roster sub. One of the benefits of having a deep pool for your team to make sure that you're able to continue the match rather than look at a forfeit.
Yeah, always good when you don't have to forfeit.
It's unfortunate that we won't be able to say, is it Shusui or is it Shusui? I always say it as Shusui. I like the way that sounds, but I think somebody said it's Shusui. Maybe it was you.
Shusui? I don't know. That might be how I pronounce that. We'll never know now. I won't be put on the spot introducing them.
Yep.
But
At least
you know, Aero,
today.
While we're here.
Do you have something to talk about?
I do. I don't know if you saw announcements channel on NGS. Big announcement came out today. The NGS Fall Brawl. Gonna be a one-day event on October 10th. It's gonna be like 18 bracket tournament style kind of thing. And so your matches are going to start at 4 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern, and 8 p.m. Eastern if you make it to the finals. Gonna be a grand time. All maps are available to play, all heroes available, all mounts, all skins. So it's just gonna be fun. And you can finally get to play on Warhead. Oh yeah, people in the chat that wanted Warhead, Fall Brawl, you should sign up.
Did you say Haunted Mines?
Haunted Mines that is included in all maps. Oh, asterisk, not ARAM maps. It's like legit.
So it's the brawl that's not a brawl.
Oh. I'm not gonna lie.
It's an ironic
never
brawl.
Occurred to me that wording could maybe be misleading.
I mean, I'll admit, when I heard it, I kind of assumed it was a brawl tournament.
Yeah, I see that, but it's brawl like fighting people. Brawl doesn't exist anymore, Aero. That's called ARAM. Different mode, totally different.
Fair enough.
Fall Brawl is real maps with real drafts and everything. But anyways, we've got our last player, and we're into the draft.
We sure do, and we sure are.
Oh wait, Shusui came back.
Yep. Computer apparently survived long enough to get into the game and get on this. BOE, so Raynor and Greymane already being banned out here. Both of these really solid race heroes here on Battlefield, where the objective is King. Although, have you I don't recall who it was. I recently saw that somebody had which means it was Div A match, like a 35-minute Battlefield of Eternity.
Oh, yikes.
Can you imagine?
No. There was that Lurk Patrol Bronze 6 match that you replay cast. They had
Oh, that was like 30 minutes. Yeah, maybe that was it. Maybe that's the one I was thinking about. Well, Li Ming's going to be taken out. Also a pretty good race hero, depending on how you build her. But you know what? We're not going to get any of Aero bitching about power hungry, or not to take it on this map.
Yeah. I don't know what that talent does, so...
It's the globe talent. You get a globe, it gives you 20% spell power, or 10% maybe now, I can't remember. It increases the amount of healing, yeah.
Do you think we get a diva? I mean, people like diva, but is she good on this map?
You know, I'm actually not sure. I don't think she's good for the race. Like, she's okay-ish for a race. Like, I don't think she's better or worse than, you know, any other solo lane heroes for the most part.
Fair enough.
But she provides a lot of disruption, and it's very difficult to kill her. So, could be. She could be very safe for protection for Ana. And I see Tuna here saying, Kel'Thuzad ban. Well, you know what? You have to go pretty far back. But ProBUs won a division coastal finals because of Kel'Thuzad. So I don't hate that ban. I think that's probably where that's coming from. He can be an absolute terror, and especially if you've got that Ana, like, you set up those sleep darts and suddenly people just die. But Chromie and Vala, both very strong race heroes, as is the Artanis.
I love that Artanis skin that just came out that Sage is rocking there. It's one of the best skins in this video game.
Hard agree.
Good job, Blizzard, on that one. But pretty lame job on the Anduin.
the comrade Anduin, yeah.
Yeah, Anduin, but wearing different clothes. Yeah.
All right, Orphea going to be banned out here, so kind of an...
So, for ProBUs, we have everyone but their assassins. For Ban Cho, we have exactly their assassins.
And you know what? These two teams, like, if you merge these two teams together, would actually probably work out really well.
Right?
It was the other probe team, right? Hirobi plays it. So Majesty, no, it was this ProBUs team, because that was before the Probe 2 was around. It was actually on Towers of Doom. I think season 7, yeah. Yeah. And I think they did the same thing again, almost exactly, maybe in XGDI or something like that. But I remember talking about it way back when. And this is one of those things that, you know, it's been 3 seasons, but why not still talk about it? It was a fantastic play.
It was incredible. I mean, that was like series-saving game 3, and they ended up winning in 5. But anyways, Ban Cho just got significantly thicker in the form of Johanna and Arthas.
You know, so we had a match where we played against something very similar, a Chromia, Johanna, Arthas, and we took Tracer Sylvanas into it and absolutely devastated their team because of the mobility. They're going to get Lunara and Tassadar, so Tassadar doesn't have that mobility, but Lunara certainly can. And she can do a lot of damage to that Chromie or Vala, so keep an eye on that spread poison damage. Who do you think we get as a healer here? Tyrande, maybe?
Ooh, I do like Tyrande on this map.
And she would work well with both.
Hey!
Nailed it.
She's also, I mean, sort of the new hotness right now, I think. It's just like, oh, suddenly everyone is playing Tyrande. Plus, I mean, her trait gets some good value here.
Oh, you know what? I did not put the teams on their thing, so I better do that real quick. All right, so taking a look at these drafts, what do you think, Lulu? Which team do you think has the favor?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, Vala's a really good racy hero, but I am admittedly not an assassin player at all, so I don't know about how much value Lunara or a Tassadar would bring to race. Also Tyrande, again, like I said, that would help as well if Ban Cho is just trying to race. They've got big frontliners in Joe and Arthas to zone. But on the other hand, ProBUs has an Ana, so you just sleep someone and then everyone jumps them and they die. So you know, could go either way.
For sure. All right, well, let's get our teams introduced. Why don't you get us started?
Okay, on the blue side, we have ProBUs with 8-bit on the Diablo, Blue Oyster on Tassadar, Irby on the Ana, the Juggler on Lunara, and then Sage on the Artanis in the top lane.
All right, and for Ban Cho over here to the right, the red team, we do have Shu Sui. I'm going Shu Sui, like Chop Sui, playing Vala there. We got Quinel on the Chromie, Skev 13 on Johanna, Bluestein V2 on Tyrande, and Arthas up in the top lane, played by Ronan.
Okay, I want to point out Bluestein in the chat said, sorry for the delay, chat, but this is Ban Cho. You never should tune in on time, and it's a very Ban Cho thing if ever I've heard it.
Well, you know what? Fair enough. If you're not 10 minutes late, then you're not on time, right?
Ban Cho used to be notoriously difficult to schedule with.
All right, I just have to point this out, and I'm so glad that I caught this, because I did this exact same thing a couple nights ago in our game on Sunday. Artanis versus Arthas. I already know who wins this game, and it's ProBUs, only because of the fact that Sage asserted dominance by throwing out the reverse swap and getting Arthas right into the towers. It means nothing. It did absolutely. He took a little damage, no big deal. But the point is he basically just said, "Look what I can do," and you just have to stand there and accept it. So we're gonna play this out, but in my mind, ProBUs has already won this game.
Aero's calling it. You guys can stop playing now. It's just done.
Well, Diablo getting quite a bit of damage there, but no follow-up on that Lunar Flare to finish the job. They're certainly close to being able to kill the Diablo, especially with only the 20 souls so far.
Yep, he's still a little baby Diablo. He's not all grown up yet.
So Chromie going into the time trap, giving armor or for her team, or taking armor away from the enemy team. Now Skev getting a little low, does have to pop that Iron Skin to get away from the Diablo. Ana getting that anti-healing grenade to just try to get that kill onto the Johanna. Whole lot of almosts in this bottom lane matchup so far. Vala, Tassadar, Diablo earlier there, even Chromie a little bit. But so far, no kills.
We do have a camp fight here. And Ban Cho is down 4v3 in this, so they don't want to contest this too hard, but they...
That was a really good condemn there. Yeah, Johanna, not really known for her ability to provide significant peels. But Chromie now in danger with that dive over the wall from Diablo. Lunara's poison damage might be just enough, and you see there Chromie trying to use the time trap for that armor I mentioned earlier, but just not enough. Not enough time.
Well, that turned very quickly, and then very quickly back.
Indeed.
Very low up top, though.
Yeah, Sage actually got hit by the Immortal Stun there, knocked him back, so put him in an awkward place.
Don't call people out for that.
Well, no, that's why he got low. It was on camera. Sorry, guys. I know that everybody saw that.
Every time it happens, I'm like, nope, no one saw that. Nothing happened. Not that it ever happens to me, but you know,
Sure.
it did.
So Diablo kind of in between, or on the other side of the entire red team here. Skev did get a bit low, as Artanis actually the one who's going to fall. Tassadar gets caught by the Lunar Flare. Chromie throwing out a little bit of Sandblast action, bringing him down pretty low, but not going to take him out. So sending back Vala for the race here. As both teams pretty close in XP. Little bit of an advantage for Ban Cho right now. 8-Bit just accepting the auto attacks from Chromie until he can get that shadow charge. Does get the charge onto Chromie. And can Lunara catch up? But never mind. Arthas is going to go ahead and stall her out as the Immortal going to be finished here. And it's going to be ProBUs.
Yeah, race actually got pretty close there with that kill on Artanis. Oh, big swap onto Skev.
Might not be enough, though. Just barely, and Diablo going hard.
Oh.
Ooh, that was really close. Gladiator medallion there used for Artanis. And just Tassadar up in the top lane. That was a really really good swap, but I don't think that the team was quite ready for it.
Yeah, and I mean, Johanna is Johanna.
Yeah, I think though if Sage had like perfect timing with the team, and I don't know if that's Sage, I don't know if that's the team, but if the communication was there, I think Diablo's able to charge her into a wall and then she just dies. So I think that was one of, I've done these myself. I think that was one of those, hey guys, I got this, but nobody really believes you. And then you get it and you're like, well, rip, I'm standing next to a tower and you guys didn't kill Johanna. Just saying, that's what happens.
You see, my team sort of has the opposite problem. We'll like do something, but we don't expect it to work, so you don't call it. And it's like, oh guys, I just did a thing. Ooh.
Speaking of a thing, rotation coming down, getting the kill onto Artanis, but the other solo laner, Arthas, gonna fall up in the top lane. So both of the teams starting to put some pressure into structures here. Although Ban Cho getting the bottom siege camp first.
Rip to both solo laners. They're suddenly dying to 4-man from the other team.
I mean, it's the curse of being a solo laner, right? You just have to always be mindful that a gank is coming.
You're either alone or bullied. Those are the two things that happen in your life as a solo laner.
All right, so the siege camp is going to get cleared up. The full fort taken down by ProBUs, but they didn't quite get as much XP out of all of this, so it is going to be 10s soon for Ban Cho.
And Chromie's already online because LOL Chromie.
Yep, with that slowing sands there. So about 2/3 of the way already toward halftime is Ban Cho, and now they have level 10s.
2/3 towards halftime. You're really getting into the fractions, Aero.
Yeah, indeed. I keep, well, never mind. We're going to get the Artanis blind here, trying to pause the Vala damage. Johanna's stuck on the wrong side of a wall, but Artanis trying to get the swap onto Chromie is going to miss. This time, however, Johanna is going to go down, but the juggler as well. Lunara falling shortly thereafter as 8-Bit trying to charge in onto the Arthas and gets the flip with the wall, but 8-Bit's still so very low. So it's a 2-for-1, but Diablo will be coming back. Make it a 3-for-1, as they did get that kill onto Artanis as well.
Okay, legitimately what happened there? There was like 3 people just lost all of their health for ProBUs. But I couldn't tell what it was from.
I mean, there are a variety of things. Vala does a lot of damage. Chromie does a lot of damage in the Immortal. I mean, imagine probably got a stun. Big stun, speaking of that, onto Bluestein. Tyrande getting deleted thanks to that Shadow Charge Tassadar Force Wall combo. Tassadar, however, about to get just demolished by the Sandblast or the Dragon's Breath. There's that slowing sands we talked about earlier.
Yeah, it's a lot more annoying these days. You get so slow so fast.
Well, with this Immortal, it's gonna get most of the fort down. The Nano Boost going out onto Tassadar forces Ban Cho to pull back a little bit here. They may actually be able to finish this fort.
Yeah, just barely before the Immortal goes down. Sager's looking for a swap.
That said, the bot lane still got a lot of value from that Shaman camp that took out the wall while they were doing the Immortal, and while Probius, you know, had their deaths. But during that phase, got pretty significant value.
Probably just get this fort for free now, since Ban Cho has gone top to get that top camp. And they do. But they're gonna get rotated on if they don't get out with a bit of a quickness here.
Yeah, and it looks like they're heading through the bottom camp. They maybe recognized that Ban Cho was on the way.
Yeah, and they
so
got a little bit of early vision with that Lunara Wisp there in lane.
Well, of their 13s here online for Ban Cho, obviously Chromie's had her level 13 for a couple of levels, so she's been able to time things out. And they do have their Shaman camp up and available as well. Most likely going to save that for the Immortal. But Artanis is working on that XP up in the top, so he should be able to even him up. Certainly before the Immortal comes up. And a lot of poke damage coming out, but not really getting that much damage onto the actual structure.
Yep, so the well and Ford stay safe in the bot lane for now for Probius.
Tassadar using Oracle. Probably had a pretty good idea that Ban Cho was on their Immortal, but this is now a defensive position for the Immortals. And we do see here Diablo is going to get that charge. Both of the tanks seeing Diablo in that bush there. Chromie
You're
with that...
close to a swap there.
Oh, yeah. That phase prism, like, sprayed into her hair. It was so close. Almost like a hairspray.
Yeah, sprayed into her hair like hairspray.
Yeah. Well, picking up that Shaman camp is going to give Probius the lane pressure in that bot lane, but they also lost about, once again, 2/3 of their halftime. But Johanna, and I don't know if you saw it, she was at 1 health there for the briefest of moments before the damage take. Chusui getting very low. And Lunar, again, the dot damage just enough to take him out.
Yeah, Probius is about to have a problem in the top lane, though. That camp is pushing in on their keep wall, and an Arthas is going up there to try it outlet out. But Artanis is going up to clear if he doesn't die.
Wow, that's remarkably close.
180 health, he was fine.
Yeah, not even close.
Not even close. Ooh, sleep onto the Chromie, and then flip, and just heals off of Loon's Chosen while in stasis, question mark?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Well, 8-bit here getting tons of damage here. Does get the flip onto Johanna, but she pops that Iron Skin is just fine. Now Sage in the backline, maybe looking for this Tyrande as well. Arthas, however, sitting on the Tassadar. Soon enough, Tassadar is just going to be toast. I don't think he can really get away from that.
Chusui is going to get the double kill back, though.
Oh, but Vala, does she die here? Pretty sure she dies.
No, you don't. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you can't Hearthen time.
She did have that the Gloom spell armor that she tried to use, but just not, it's not quite there. That said, again, that Shaman camp for Probius getting loads of value. Took down that full keep wall and already about 20% of that keep as well.
Yeah, so Ban Cho's up in the top lane and got the wall and one of the towers and about half of the other one, but Probius taking out the full wall in the bot lane. And part of the keep.
Yeah, and Ronan came in trying to see if he couldn't stall out the damage from Tassadar here, who was just, you know, beaming a blue ball of energy onto the Immortal for about 12 damage a second. It took a while, but eventually they got there.
Yes.
I keep, when I'm moving the screen around, I keep trying to use the ASDF or ASDW keys like I'm playing Among Us. And I'm like, why isn't this map moving? All right, so looking for the first keep of the game with a pretty healthy Immortal. It is taking a bunch of damage from the Chromie. And of course we have Vala with Monster Hunter, so shield is dropping pretty quickly. What do you think on this fight, Lulu?
It's gonna be really... Oh no, Sage. That's not a good place to be. Oh, but they get the counter kill. Yeah, that slowing Sands right at the gate there. Once Sage was in, he was gonna have a very hard time getting out of that.
Well, a pretty strong defense there from Ban Cho, able to only lose about half of their keeps, so that puts both of the keeps at a similar level.
Yeah, if you put the health of the two together, you have like one full health keep.
True, but no every single minion wave catapults. And that's what's really important.
That's true. It is much better to have two half health keeps than like one fully missing.
Now both teams looking to commit onto this bottom siege camp. Vala and Arthas are not here, so right now this is a 4v3. And ProBUs using that Oracle is going to be able to get the vision of the team. Vala in the lane though, so near enough by to cause a problem. But Artanis is here, so Ban Cho's going to go ahead and back off. They saw that with the time trap as well. Sage is being hyper aggressive, knows that the Arthas is up top. Was looking for maybe a swap or something there.
Yeah, it's 5v4 for ProBUs right now, and that was sort of a... If you wanted to take a fight before Chromie getting her 20, that was sort of their opportunity too. But they're still up 1 down here. If they want to look for the fight. But they don't.
Yeah, and it's not a really great place for them to fight. Just like we saw Ban Cho earlier was trying to fight there at that bottom fort. It's very difficult to do that effectively without putting yourself in danger. Because the moment, say, Diablo Shadow charges into the keep's knocking down his armor 10 and then 20.
Who needs armor anyways?
True. Now this time, Ban Cho says, you know what, we cannot afford to just let this Shaman camp push like it has the last couple times. We're going to get Diablo charging in. The Gladiator Medallion used there on Vala. Suppression Pulse coming in, so Blind is now done. Here comes the Apocalypse. No stuns, I don't think. Ronan going to be able to make it away. Sage looking for the swap, but it's going to get caught by the Lunar Flare as Johanna using Unstoppable is going to fall anyways to the Tassadar. And is that it? No, Quinall there cannot get away from that Lunara. And Ronan, you know what? That wall was up for just long enough for Diablo to shove Arthas into it. Feels bad when the wall dies because you got slammed into it.
Oh. ProBUs is looking to end here? Especially if they get this kill.
Yeah, that kill would have definitely secured it for him. They do have to be just a little bit careful because of the Vala. It's a lot of damage. But I think they can do it. I mean, they just have to be a little bit careful of those roots, too.
Yeah, and then there goes the Vala, so they get this. It's going to be game 1 going over to ProBUs, Aero.
Well played. I don't want to say that I called it, but I kind of called it.
Yeah, that's true. When you saw that Artanis swap 40 seconds into the game, that's what told you how this game was going to go.
I mean, you just got to have that belief that when you're able to assert dominance in the solo lane over your opponent, I mean, it's game over.
Big swap energy.
14 kills to 11. I mean, it was not, this was not a one-sided game by any means. I mean, there were a lot of opportunities. The front line really suffered on the side of ProBUs into that Chromie, especially Vala as well. you know, having the armor penalty coming from Tyrande, like they did a really good job of connecting the dots there, but ultimately just that one last fight, the one fight where they said, hey, we don't want this shaman camp to get this keep for free, and then they were just kind of spread out, and Diablo, looking for that opportunity, ultimately able to set that play up and get some kills out of it.
Yeah, I mean, Chromie had the highest hero damage in the game. She was just putting out hurt the whole time. But Lunara for ProBUs had 9 of their 14 killing blows. She's a very mean dryad.
Yeah, no doubt. The and we saw so many of them, and it's that inevitable ticking toward death that is just so difficult to work with. And apparently I need to go find my dog. So why don't we just take a quick break and we'll come back in just a moment. Sound good to you?
Sounds good.
All right.
You have finally returned home.
Home? You destroyed my home. Slaughtered innocents. Left peaceful realms in ruins. You broke your promise.
I will not be questioned. Return to the tower at once. Fine.
How could you?
Dead magic. I am beyond that power.
You're wrong. Tell me why.
There must be order, my daughter. Without it, everything will be lost.
Then I will fight. I will never stop fighting you. For my family. For the realm. For the Nexus.
Alrighty, welcome back everybody. Getting ready for game number 2 in this best of 3 series here. Division B Southeast between ProBUs and Ban Cho. We just saw game number 1 there go over to ProBUs. And quite a fun match to watch there. Some really good plays, both teams. But ultimately ProBUs coming out the victor.
That Orpheus cinematic was really cool.
Wasn't it? I've
been playing this game for a little while now, and somehow I just never saw any of these when they were released, and I don't know how.
I don't know.
I don't know either. That was really cool. Anyways, the match, huh?
Yeah, the match. I did bring a friend here.
I'm gonna make a prediction if you haven't shown it yet. Game 2, Alterac Pass.
I've not shown it, so there you go. What do you guys think? Do you think it's going to be Alterac Pass?
I think there's at least like a 50% chance it is.
Alpha's just like, what are you doing to me, dude? Why am I here?
I should be sleeping.
She was sleeping on my dirty laundry.
Of course, the best place to take a nap.
Yep. All right, let's see. First draft is ProBUs, so this is the map pick of Ban Cho. And you know what? As long as we're as long as we're doing that, why don't we show you guys the maps?
Let's do that. Oh, more cries for Warhead in the chat.
Yikes! 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 Well, it's not going to be Warhead. It's actually going to be Alterac Pass. Who knew?
Who knew? Wow, I'm really good at this, Aero. You know, I said this earlier, but I'll say it again. For those of you that are just, you know, really wanting to play Warhead Junction, you should sign up for the NGS Fall Brawl, where you can play on such maps as Alterac Pass. And not that, and Warhead Junction. That's what I meant to say.
I was gonna say, you were trying to sell this based on the idea of playing Warhead, and then you just totally like...
It's been such a long week. All maps are available to play in the Fall Brawl. Just saying, you should sign up. It's October 10th.
Lulu just yeeted Warhead Junction right off the list. She was like, you can play not Warhead, let's play Alterac.
You wanted Warhead? Nah. Also, and a sure sign that Valk was involved in helping me work on this and plan this, you can have up to 15 people on your roster for a one-day event for the NGS Fall Brawl, so you could bring all of your friends. They might not get to play, but they can be on your team.
I have no idea what this is about.
What's about?
Let's go with this. I don't like people coming in and spamming my chat.
I see.
Especially when it makes absolutely no sense.
Man, I really feel like for the side of ProBUs, Sage and Blue Oyster, big overachievers here. If you look at the synergy between Irby and 8-Bit and the Juggler, they've all got these really nice, like red, you know, outlines. Sage and Oyster, they don't.
You know what? What they really need to do is just get over 2,500, because then they're always green. It makes me sad. All right, Alpha, you done? Are you done? Say bye. Bye-bye. Woof.
Woof.
Woof, there it is.
Woof, there she goes. There she goes again. There she goes again.
I had a pen. All right, so we're going to Alterac Pass. This is a very different map from the Battlefield of Eternity that we just saw. Probably going to be banned out first.
Throw me first ban.
Not a big surprise. I mean, we saw how much work the Slowing Sands had. The Dragon's Breath was absolutely just a menace for the team. So I think that's a good ban, and especially here.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. On this map, too, she can poke. She can make it just a miserable time for you.
Greymane being banned out again. Greymane was the first ban last game as well. Here, you know, I mean, Greymane's just a strong hero anywhere for team fights. He's also really strong for Battlefield of Eternity. But here on Alterac Pass, he's just any other hero that does a boatload of damage.
I hate that we live in a world where Samuro is something deserving of a ban. He's not fun to play against. I don't like having the fear of him existing around.
He is a very difficult hero to play around at times.
And there's the Ana ban coming out from the side of Ban Cho. Those grenades are not fun when you just can't heal your teammate as they're getting exploded upon.
Portrait synergy is the most important thing, says Hirobi. Yeah, I'm not
I
disagreeing with that.
agree. Portrait synergy, it makes you play better. It's been scientifically asterisk proven.
You know what? It's been scientifically proven just as much as anything else these days, it seems like.
I said asterisk, Aero.
I know. I was supporting you in that. All right, so Deckard Cain did not get to play last game, but he is coming in on this round. But that's going to give Diablo over to Ban Cho.
Arby said, "You get rid of my sleep darts? Okay, stay a while and listen."
I feel like
Still
Irby's
put
got a
people
story
to
to
sleep.
tell.
He's Dr. Kane and he said for access.
All right, so ETC and Lunara here. So ETC being able to get the mosh, like you can set that up really easily with a stay a while and listen. Obviously, the juggler played Lunara last game, really strong in that game as well. So expect that to be kind of a target. If they can get that shadow charge onto Lunara, maybe throw out some orbs and a couple of missiles. Lunara doesn't have a big health pool, so she could be toast pretty quickly. Last ban, who's it gonna be?
It's gonna be Solanas.
And you know, that's a really good ban. I'm actually kind of surprised we didn't see Solanas in one of the first half. This is probably her best map. If not her best map, it's definitely a very good one for her.
Yeah, I mean, it never feels bad to be able to turn off the enemy structures when you just want to push stuff. Ah, there was the new Anduin skin, too. Are you ready for some light bombs, Aero?
I'm ready. Bring it.
It feels really good if you can either A, pull someone out of a mosh, or B, light bomb them and just like end the mosh as soon as it starts. Imperious coming out from Sage with his best skin, which is where he's sitting on seemingly nothing, so it just looks like he's popping a squat.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta.
I mean, nature calls.
All right, last pick here could be the solo laner. Probably not, because they have the Thrall. So it's probably going to be something like maybe a Raynor. I could see Raynor. Raynor would be really good to help with the Mosh Pit and the Imperious Q, but it's actually going to be
They
Abathar.
said no.
Abathar?
We have something much spicier. Arbathar.
This is going to be interesting. Go ahead.
Does he have the Thrall? Who does Abathar hat here?
Yeah, I mean, he certainly could have the Thrall. I mean, that's your kind of up in your face. I mean, Diablo could be potentially as well, especially for an auto attack Diablo. I don't know. Man, there aren't a lot of ways to stop the Imperious spears. Li Ming can get a heroic. That's a 30-second cooldown. Obviously, Diablo can shadow charge, and of course Thrall can take his ult or Anduin's ult, but those are long compared to just a 12-second or so cooldown.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see how it plays out.
And I think Abathar's going to have a tough time, but we'll see how that goes. Why don't we go ahead and get started with our introductions? I'll start with Ban Cho this time. We got Ronan over here on the Thrall, Shusui on Abathar, Skev going to be playing Diablo, Bluestein on the Anduin, and Quinal on Leeming.
And for the side of ProBUs, we have 8-Bit on the ETC, Irby on the Deckard Pain, the Juggler on Kael'thas, Blue Oyster on the Lunara, and Sage on Imperius.
Alrighty, so I mean, Abathur's a really strong hero. It puts Ban Cho in a little bit of a difficult place early game, but if they can stall out the objective and not lose structures early game, then I think that they can definitely pick this up in the late game. So we'll just have to see. Oh, big pause. Love when the game just pauses a moment there.
Oh yeah, small indie company Aero.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna say that hasn't got me killed a half a dozen times. So we do have the Valorous brand upgrade here, burn the Impure. It's gonna be that percentage damage, so Sage looking to really just demolish Diablo when they have these team fights. Also field study there for Deckard. What do you think about that?
It's, I don't know. I like Sapphire because it feels really good to slow people. I think his other level ones are good as well. They're just less satisfying, I think.
True. I think that it's going to be a little difficult because you've got a pretty backline heavy comp here on the side of Ban Cho. Yeah, you have Thrall who might be about to die here. Nope, both of them very low on health and mana. But not going to die.
Thrall can get a friend very easily in the form of an Abathur shield, which makes this a little bit more difficult for Sage.
Oh, they switched. Blue Oysters on Lunara. And the Jugglers on Kael'thas. Darn them. I did not catch that on the thing. Anyways, they both got their siege camps and are pushing in the mid lane here. We have Abathur hanging out in the bot lane with Kael'thas, so pushing that lane up here soon will be Kael'thas when he finishes clearing that wave. And both teams able to clear out the siege camp pretty quick.
Sage is gonna die.
Rip. Totally missed that. Thanks for calling it, but I was not prepared to get up there.
Yeah, I did. I wasn't convinced it was gonna happen until it did, to be honest.
I mean, we saw it earlier, the two heroes themselves, they both have the ability to heal off of damage they do to other players, and they can do pretty significant damage. Thrall taking Echo of the Elements there at level 1, so he doesn't have that Rolling Thunder, the percentage damage. Gladiator Medallion there used on Blue Oyster to get away from the flip from Diablo. And we do have some mines already set up here in the
I gotta say,
aggressive
the
side.
mines are extremely creepy with the skin that Abathur is using. I don't like it. They're like little mecha radioactive spiders. Terrible.
Well, Ban Cho is actually going to start the channel here. ProBUs, I guess, thinking that they want the siege camp. They want to try to get maybe level 7s, but against an Abathur comp, I think this is a bit of a misplay, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna be able to find the like stall out in time. They weren't really healed up, but they do get the stop. We've got Leeming at half health.
Oh, and they're looking for Thrall. Lunar getting a bunch of damage from Thrall, though, and Bluestein throwing out a little bit of healing as well. So only 12 seconds left to go for Ban Cho. They do have the talent advantage for the moment anyways.
Yeah, it was a really good recovery by ProBUs there. They still had Imperius in the top lane. He came down. They got the interrupt. Now they get the fight.
And this is a great set of combo stun along with knockback, and Diablo going down is going to allow ProBUs now to start the channel themselves. Just not enough in the tank there for Diablo with all of 49 souls.
Yeah, and you could see Li Ming up top. She wasn't able to get in position quick enough to get the stall onto the point. So ProBUs gets the channel, and it looks like they're just gonna get the objective, question mark.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot that Ban Cho can do into this, right? Again, they have an Abathur comp, so they're kind of down a player right now. Abathur is getting a little bit of push up top, though. got about half a tower out of that. But not as much value as you would hope if you're Ban Cho in this.
Yeah, they do still at the moment have the lead towards 10, and then that gets a lot better for them. But right now they've got to clear out these the cavalry.
And they don't really have great cavalry clear. I mean, it's single target, so like Li Ming can certainly bomb it, but there are also generally a lot of minions nearby, so can't always hit that with your orb.
Yeah, so they're coming down to protect their Abathur friend who went up to top lane. That
Nice.
does mean mid is getting a lot of value.
Yeah, nice charge there from Sage onto Ronan, but has the Abathur hat, so he should be fine. Blue Oyster versus Li Ming here in the mid lane, though. Could go either way. Although Lunara doing a really good job of staying in the minions there is not really in a position to get caught. Until Anduin comes up, gets the root.
Surprise! Spiky Anduin with the kill.
Yeah, the Abathur is the one who got the kill out of that, too.
Yes.
And speaking of Abathur, he's digging once again. Just came top, but you know what? He's like, I don't like it up here. I'm going to go bottom now.
Yeah, he doesn't have walls anywhere anymore, which is, I don't know, a little bit scary. Maybe not so scary if you're a good Abathur player, but I'm a mediocre one, so that's pretty scary to me.
Yeah, it definitely makes it a little bit easier for the enemy team to find you because you have such a low health pool. But Sage up in the top, we see the movement pings called. A little bit of a body block there. Diablo going to charge out. Ronan in a bit of danger as the leap of faith coming just a little too late.
Oh my gosh! Whoa!
I completely missed that.
Lunara, I think, took an orb that took her down to 49 health, and then she got something else from Li Ming and died. But she was essentially deleted.
Yeah, I mean, Lunara doesn't have a ton of health. I kind of expect that we'll see the greater spell shield at 13. That would help with some of those Li Ming long-range bombs. Oh, you know what? Also, didn't notice this earlier, but Li Ming taking Seeker. So any kind of like combo where maybe an APOC with a light bomb or something like that, if she can get that single target onto one player, I mean, even ETC is going to be at half health or less.
KT gets out using his medallion in the bot lane.
Oh, if I'm talking, you got to interrupt me for that. Another rubber banding of the game. Come on, guys, get your stuff together.
I am a little relieved to hear that's not just me, because I've been having that happen a bunch lately.
Yeah, in casting, it's usually like a slight like slowdown. It's usually not just a pause, but like in games, sometimes I've had games where it's like literally 1 to 2 seconds of pause time, and I mean that's an eternity, especially if you're playing a tank or solo.
It's a good thing, you know, you don't play a role where everyone's trying to punch your face in.
Right? Let me just stand here on ETC with a low health pool and no armor. All right, well, 11 seconds there picked up by ProBUs. So they do get started on the channel. Abathur going to be pushing in the bot lane, but Sage is trying to get away here. Does Celestial Charge over into the Diablo, uses his ultimate. And Deckard Cain with a big stay a while.
Stay a while.
Leap of Faith there did protect the damage coming from the Imperius, but Blue Oyster having to pull out. I don't think Sage gets out of this one now, but the Mosh Pit is going to help them to secure the kill onto Thrall. Diablo looking for, once again, that Lunara, but ultimately they're just helping to... Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We did get that one.
Li Ming deletes Lunara.
Yeah, that was pretty clutch to watch. That was a combination of the orb damage, but also that seeker that I mentioned earlier. It looked like all three of those missiles went right into Lunara, and at this level, that's going to be something like 1,1300 damage just from an arcane missiles.
That's a little bit. Also, while that was happening, before ProBUs went up to that fight, they cleared out Ban Cho's camp, and so ProBUs' camp took the mid fort there.
So the first fort of the game happened off screen, quietly. Nobody saw it happen.
Yeah, you know, I'm just trying to give the camps the recognition they deserve. Too often they go unnoticed, much like Gaul.
Gaul is the best hero.
It's true. Why ban Cho when you can ban Gaul? You know.
I mean, Gaul really is the like epitome of support player.
Oh, that's true. How, is he classified as that? Because he should be.
No, but he should be.
Oh.
He's an assassin. All right, well, ProBUs coming in, looking to see if they can't get this Sage with a big combo there onto Diablo. Stay a while coming in. APOC gonna get a big stun in the back with Light Bomb. They're gonna get two here in just a moment as Diablo flipping Deckard. Lunar trying to jump over the Diablo. Big stun is gonna secure the kill onto Diablo as the Wave of Force knocking everybody back there. Oh, I'm sorry, that was actually ETC's stun, never mind, or face melt. Ronan caught by the Celestial Charge, and it's... Is it really just 2 for 1? I could... Oh, you know what? Diablo died. So 2 for 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Diablo, so sneaky like that.
Really is.
Just about 6 seconds left on the channel here for ProBUs, but they are down a talent tier now, so... Ban Cho looking to see if they can't be a little bit aggressive. They are limited on their heroics right now. It's just Wave of Force available, and obviously that's not going to help them a ton.
Yeah. And shout out to Deckard potions in that last fight. Even though Irby went down, he had some very clutch, large potions waiting for his team, so they were able to heal up and get that last kill.
It always feels bad when you're like, hey, I got this great scenario where I can get this player killed. Oh, suddenly they just got 1,500 healing. But speaking of that, oh, another great leap of faith there from Anduin keeping Li Ming alive. The orb's coming out, but not going to be enough for Diablo to stay alive. Thrall getting caught by Sage there. And even 8-Bit looking for that stun. Couldn't quite get the stun onto the Thrall, but definitely with the cooldown reduction from Encore, going to have that Mosh Pit available again. You think Ban Cho can stall this out? Never mind.
That was a really big... Oh, okay, never mind. Well, before that happened, Thrall had a really big chain lightning there that just went to all of ProBUs trying to channel the point at the same time.
Yeah, and I mean, it bounces, right? So you get, I think, 3 total bounces. So when there are no minions around, it's only going to bounce to players, and that makes it real easy. Li Ming did take the glass cannon, and then, of course, at 16 took Firefly. So lots of very fast damage with that Seeker at level 7. But that means she's super squished. So if ETC can get that power slide, I mean, Anduin only has so many leaps.
That's true.
But it is such a satisfying sound hearing that Seeker proc every time.
Spear onto the Diablo, but he walks away. He's fine.
He walks away, but
fine
holy
right
cow. I mean, one combo bringing him to half health, and then I don't even know what else hit him. I guess maybe like a Kael'thas thing or something. Down to about a quarter health just from one combo from Imperius, and might be about to die here right now.
Here he goes. He was a baby Diablo Aero.
True, not a lot of souls picked up since his death up there at the top prison camp.
Like Ming does so much damage right now.
She really does, and with Fireflies, I mean, that reduces the cooldown and the mana cost. So you're just throwing these missiles out. Oh, and they move faster. So it makes it easier to hit them in general. and you're doing more damage, and it costs less. Like it's an interesting build. I don't personally play it, but it's strong. I like Mirabelle. I like the 5. Yeah, and this is going to be interesting. Like, this is definitely more valuable for ProBUs than it is for Ban Cho, but it means that Ban Cho doesn't have to worry about this top lane. They can head down, clear out that bottom boss, and now they don't have to worry about the threat of potentially multiple bosses.
Yeah, I don't know how much value this bot boss gets now since ProBUs left it to go top.
I mean, I don't know that it gets even any damage onto the fort.
Maybe.
It's going to be the most minor amount of damage one attack.
It did, what, 725 damage, Aero?
There you go. Yes, according to selecting the other boss, its auto attacks do 725, so it doesn't even get a special like siege bonus against structures. I'm not saying that these bosses are weak on Alterac Pass, but they're certainly not winning any bodybuilding awards.
Why are you throwing shade at the boss, Aero?
Oh, a big stun out on a Thrall. And Lunara getting the leap there, Diablo charging over, but is not going to be able to save the Thrall. Bluestein with the light bomb, big light bomb onto 4, I think. It's not going to matter though.
Yeah, I was about to say self-light bombs feel good when they work, but you're usually not in a good position if you're using a self-light bomb. He wasn't able to get away there. You can't pull yourself. It's a big shame on Anduin.
And if you can, you really shouldn't be doing that in HOTS. But it's almost level 20. There's the level 20 there for Ban Cho. So we do have that repulsion there for Li Ming. So I really like repulsion. I think it's a great talent. It helps to set up plays, but also gives Li Ming the ability to knock like that ETC not only across the screen, but able to stop a mosh pit from anywhere. If she can see him, she can stop it.
Okay, with those kills, ProBUs came down and said, okay, but we're taking this keep now. The boss couldn't do it, so they did it themselves, and they also get this objective.
Abathur's going to be able to stall out top here for a bit because they do have the minion wave. So that gives Ban Cho the opportunity to defend, really kind of focusing on mid and bot here. And we saw it with the boss. They were able to clear it pretty quickly, especially with this Fireflies build from Li Ming. But it's going to be a lot harder to do that when you have a full team right in the middle here.
Here comes the cavalry.
Double flame strikes hitting the fort there, or the keep rather. Power slide looking, and shadow charge, celestial charge as well. Here comes the clone onto Thrall. So ProBUs just pulling back. That's going to give then the clear now for Ban Cho to be able to clear bottom lane. Both mid and bot keeps are down though. So this is the point where, you know, for Ban Cho, they're exposed. And they have to be a little bit careful because if this top keep goes down as well, I mean, a core call becomes a lot easier.
Yeah, and that was kind of... Hold up.
Well, there's the Earthquake. Thrall getting just destroyed there. I'm not even sure. I think Wave of Force knocked Sage into range to be able to kill Thrall. The Apocalypse coming out here, not going to actually hit the Imperius that they were hoping for.
Sage going in 1v3, doesn't care.
I mean, at level 20, you kind of don't. Your marks last forever, so you're getting healing, you're getting percent damage, so whatever. Bluestein here going to get caught as well. A lot of damage out of that Lunara. So the core sitting at about 20% now, falling very quickly. Quinel trying to get kills from something, but it's Sage saying, hey, I got you. Skev going to fall, and we're going to call that essentially a full team wipe, as Abathur, the only one left alive, but he's not on the map. He doesn't count. It's game 2 going over to ProBUs.
just like that, Aero.
Just like that. And that was, I mean, that was a very difficult, in my opinion, that was a very difficult team comp for Ban Cho to pull off. You know, it was really, the burden of execution there was on making sure that they had the Abathur, like, clone combo and timed everything just about perfectly.
Yeah, and that was one thing I noticed on that defense there from Ban Cho. They got the clone out, like, as ProBUs took that mid keep. So ProBUs just rotated up top, and they weren't really able to get value from that last clone that they got off.
Right. Yep. Well, let's see if we can catch an interview real quick. I'll meet you in the NGS lobby.
Sounds good.
All right, we are joined by 8-Bit. 8-Bit, chat seems to want Irby to stop by. Any chance we can get Irby?
Oh, yeah. Let me send him a DM real quick. And
I mean, you're welcome as well. I'm not saying get out of here.
He's kicking you out.
I just wanted to be clear about that.
Oh, that you're kicking me out in lieu of Irby?
No.
Oh.
That was Lulu. In fact, if you'd like, I can kick Lulu from the party.
Oh, poor Lulu. Okay, Irby's on his way.
Wait, hold up. What?
Is that Irby?
That's Irby.
All right, awesome. Well, all right, so we've got 8-Bit and we've got Irby here from ProBUs. Congratulations, that was a really fantastic game, or match, really, all told. How's your team, feeling after this?
Oh, we're feeling fantastic right now. We've had a few games into the season now. We've had a chance to kind of shake out a few of our roster adjustments. I feel like we're really starting to come together as a 5-man at this point.
Sure. Well, it looked really strong. And I'm gonna just bring this up right now. I knew you guys were gonna win game number 1 in about 30 seconds into the game because you had Sage get a reverse swap onto Arthas. Didn't accomplish anything, but it asserted dominance, so I knew you guys were going to win. So pat on the back to Sage, throwing the team, over the shoulder and carrying you guys to victory in that.
Yeah, Sage is he's really truly a micro wonder, and is able to kind of perform and hit combos like that, even if he's on an Artanis into an Arthas matchup, which is, of course, a very difficult one for any solo laner.
For sure. All right, so game 1 on Battlefield of Eternity. This was their map pick. You guys were first pick. And Irby, so you were on Ana. So you guys had some really great combos between the Diablo with a Shadow Charge, with the Ana Grenade, and really kind of bullied, like Johanna, for example, a more sturdy tank who kind of felt paper thin a lot of that game. What do you guys attribute overall to your success in that? You mentioned obviously your 5-man's coming together, but what kind of steps are you guys taking that have allowed you to get to the level of comfort that you're at now?
Irby, you want to field this one?
Sure, I can speak on the Ana portion. I know for me, I've had a lot of coaching on Ana. A lot of friends that have spent a lot of time helping me fix some of my issues with her. The grenade I tend to throw too early, so that's something I've really been working on, is trying to seal the deal with the grenade. So I think that's a big part of it, because if you get them in that sweet spot, there's no saving them, right? I mean, unless you can Anduin pull them out, you can't heal them. So I think that's a big part of it. I think the other part is I play a lot of games with 8-Bit, a lot of games. So in comms, we weren't communicating when the Diablo flip was happening. I just kind of knew when it was going to happen. Yeah,
sure.
I just know when he charges, when his flip is going to come out.
So I do want to ask about, there was a moment there in game number 1 near that bottom fort. You were chasing people down. Ultimately, Sage gets that, top tier swap on Johanna over the wall, throws himself into the fort, obviously is able to get away. But it was just a suddenly Johanna in the team. So I have to know, was that a moment where Sage was like, guys, I got this, and the team just wasn't really prepared for it? Or was it a, hey guys, I already got this, and you're like, well, what do you want us to do about it? Like, because Johanna ultimately gets away there barely, but how did that go down? Do you remember?
I'll be completely honest here. I do not remember this one specific engage.
I think I remember it. I think Sage said he was fishing for someone. I think we were prepping for a swap to come in.
So this was when you guys were you pushed them back. You'd gotten a kill. I don't remember who it was, but Johanna was heading down toward her fort. Thought she was safe, and again, this is in the bottom. This was in the middle of the Immortal phase, and Sage swapped her over the wall right into your face, 8-bit, and then you guys just kind of walked along to try to catch her.
100%. This was my fault. It was a micro issue. I misclicked and didn't get my E off before he left range. Yeah,
gotcha.
that was completely on me, and I just whiffed it.
It wasn't a question of fault.
You
I didn't.
that out, Aero, and
Right.
just made him relive it. And
The painful memories.
I remember it now. It was an amazing swap. It was at a time when I thought they were gone, but Sage just said, "No, they're not gone. I've got this." And I was trying to be sensitive about it and not time it too early, so that I repositioned him for an escape, and I just did not pull it off successfully. So.
And again, I mean, I'm not trying to point out an error. I was more interested in, this was a great swap, but it's those kind of moments where you identify those like breakdowns of communication sometimes, right? Like, and is this something where the solo laner just didn't even say anything and then suddenly Johanna's in your face? Or is this something where the solo laner did it and the team didn't trust them, or the solo laner did it and something else didn't work out? So it was just an interesting moment for me to watch, because I've been doing a lot of solo laning lately.
I'm sure it looks.
He sees that. It's like he finds things and he executes them quickly, and then we have to react.
Gotcha.
He's very finding those kind of opportunities, I think.
Yeah, he's always on the look for those, and he's on the look for those sometimes when you think he might not be, but he's good enough with the comms that he lets you know what he's doing and when he's doing it. So that was just a missed opportunity.
Sure. So game number 1 was very it was pretty close, right? I mean, both teams did pretty well. Your guys' kill count was similar. Obviously you had more structures because you won the game. But the second game was a little bit of a different story. We get the Deckard coming out from Irby with I gotta shout out that stay a while up in the top lane that saved Sage from a 4v1 somehow. I still don't really fully understand it. But when you guys go into this and you see the last pick of an Abathur, what kind of adjustments or considerations do you make going into that game to ultimately be successful?
I think when we see an Abathur comp like that, we just first of all, we have to be cognizant just not to let him AFK press down lanes and forts, because depending on the build, that's something within Abathur's kit. And you have to expect you're going to be at a level disadvantage for sure. So that made us a little hyper aware of when our opportunities were to fight, because if you don't take them when they're up, they're going to close, and once they've closed, you've basically ceded the map to the opponent. So that's kind of how that's kind of how our thinking goes when we see we're facing a heavy macro hero like that, like Abathur. And we were fortunate enough that we were able to take those fights in the windows that we had.
Sure. Irby, question for chat, and then Lulu, if you want to follow up the second question in chat after this, and then any other questions you've got. Hold on, let me scroll back to it.
Oh, I've got the question from chat, Aero.
Well, let me do the first one. You do the second one.
I only see one, sure.
Okay, well, it's right after the one that I'm asking. So, from Leoric, I'm going to say, Irby, why are you so good?
So that's my friend Leo Rice, and let me tell you, he is a great friend and cheerleader. There are plenty of times where I make mistakes and screw up badly, and Leo is always in my corner cheering me on and reminding me that I can do better. He's a good friend.
What? That wasn't the question at all. It's why are you good, not why is he good. Stop being a support main. Talk about yourself.
um, I, I don't know. It's a lot of work, I guess. This is my second NGS season. I don't particularly think that I'm as great as Leo hypes me up to be. I spend a lot of time focusing on the heroes that I play, and I try to do my best to play them well.
I love to tell people that Irby is the only emotional support main in NGS.
Nice.
Okay, so another question from the chat. Irby, how heavy is 8-bit to carry?
8-bit is not heavy to carry. Did that come from you, Lulu?
No, that was Papa Patience 3. You can check the chat. That wasn't from me. I was not insulting 8-bit.
No, 8-bit is he's like the glue that holds our team together. He does a great job in draft. He does a great job shot calling. There are times when we're prepping for a match and we have to do something as simple as a coin flip, and if he's not here, we all look at each other and go, what do we do? Where's 8-bit? I mean, this literally happened last match. No, he's great. I'm very fortunate to be playing with him on his team.
Emotional support main.
That's true. Okay, one more question for you, Irby. I couldn't help but notice on your Deckard, you are not using the Green Army Deckard skin. You've opted for the Deckard Pain. Why is that?
Oh, I initially liked the Green Army skin a lot, but I feel like it's kind of plain. I don't know. I guess I just like the color palette better on the Deckard Pain.
I can get behind that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it was like kind of lost its novelty. I saw it and I was like, oh, cool, Green Army men. And then when you play it, you're like, I'm just a green blob. And so I switched back.
You're just a Green Army man.
Yeah.
Okay, well those were all the questions I had, Aero.
All right. I've got one other question here for you, and I'm going to go ahead and skip over my usual question because we have plenty of highlight plays in there. My question for you, and this is for 8-bit, what map do you want to play in the Fall Brawl for NGS?
That's a good question.
Knowing that all maps are on the table that are not ARAM maps.
Hanamura, because I'm never going to get to play it in NGS.
All right, well, don't forget to sign up for that. Good luck if you do. Let's go ahead and move on to shoutouts.
Yeah, I'll start off with a quick shout out to Sage, Irby, Oyster, and of course the Juggler, who is affectionately known as the 1v9 machine in our Discord. Great games today from everyone. Huge shout outs to Ban Cho. I feel like I've been playing against these guys since the beginning of time. Shout out to you guys, the casters. Thanks so much for picking us up. Everyone loves being casted. It feels great, and can't wait to watch the VOD afterwards. Shout out to our official fan club, the ProBUs. Always showing up in chat to support us. And shout outs to my lovely wife and son, who are almost certainly on Animal Crossing right now. How about you, Irby? Do you have any shout outs?
Yeah, just a couple. One, also to my lovely wife who watches all of my games and supports me, and my son, Hirobi. Gotta give him a shout out. Probably all of my friends and coaches that have helped me along the way, and Ban Cho in particular. They are a good group of people, and we knew the matches were going to be tough.
All right, good deal. Well, thanks for joining us here tonight, guys. Don't forget to report your match, and good luck with the rest of your season.
Thanks. Have a lovely night.
You know what? It's just us in here. I don't need to call you. We're not doing a webcam anyway.
The ProBUs is not a term I had heard for the ProBUs supporters before.
You know, I mean, y'all gotta have your own terms.
It's some excellent alliteration. Man, well, of course, Puns Upon a Time is gonna have a fan club too. I gotta figure out a good name for them.
Well, that I'm sure will be excellent when you do come up with a Puns Upon a Time fan club.
Would you join?
I mean, I feel like I'm already part of it.
Okay, that's an acceptable answer.
Yeah, I mean, you can't join something you're already part of.
That's true.
There you go. Lulu, anything you want to say to Twitch chat before we figure out who's still going this evening and raid on over?
Oh yeah, just want to give one more absolutely shameless plug to the NGS Fall Brawl coming at you October 10th. It's not ARAM, it's real matches, but it can be on any map, any hero, any skin, any mount. Gonna be fun. You should check out the announcements in NGS. Also, because apparently Irby did not fully do his job, shout out to Tuna Breath.
Ooh, rip. Way to go, Irby. Yikes. All right, well, sounds good. I mean, that's it for us tonight here, so we're going to go ahead and raid over to Jason, who is casting a couple of teams that I think you had interest in, didn't you, Lulu?
Are you talking about Cool Cats and Kittens versus Can't Connect Stuns? Two of the top teams in Div D West. I'm sure that's a really excellent match going on over there.
Yeah, well, that's where we're going to go. So thanks, everybody, for stopping by. Have a great evening. And if you're come back tomorrow, we've got I don't even remember what it is. I think it's a Div A matchup, but it might not be. And Salvaje is actually going to be joining me tomorrow for one of her first casts. It's not her very first cast, but one of her first casts within NGS.
She's been casting with Weenus a lot.
Has she? Okay, yeah. So, well, it'll be her first cast with me. So make sure you stop by for that. And I think it's at 9 tomorrow or so, 9:30. So make sure you check the calendar for that. And have a wonderful night.